You're 19, mowing a neighbor's yard for $40 cash. 2 decades later, a private equity firm offers you $150 million for a company you built from that same push mower. Between those two moments sits a $188 billion industry, 692,000 companies, and a failure rate that kills roughly half of them inside 5 years. This is every level of owning a lawn care company in America and what it actually costs to climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The side hustle. You're 17, maybe 22, and you spent $900 on a used push mower, a string trimmer, and a backpack blower from a pawn shop on the wrong side of town. Your truck is your dad's. Your office is the cab of it. Your first week you knock on 12 doors with a flyer you printed at Staples. The first yes comes in on a Tuesday evening while you're eating pizza. You charge $35 a cut and you mow 8 lawns on a good Saturday. That's $280 before gas, before blades, before the oil you'll burn through by August. Your customers come from a Facebook post in a neighborhood group, and half of them are haggling you down to $30. The first big lawn makes your hands sweat on the mower grips. You learn fast that a straight stripe matters, that scalping a lawn gets you fired by text message, and that nobody pays on time. The work is simple. Mow, trim, edge, blow. And then do it again in 7 days. You're taking home maybe 50 to 70% of what you gross, which sounds great. You keep a glass jar under your bed for the truck fund. Then it rains for 9 straight days in June and you make $0 that week. You drive to the bank on a Friday with $180 in singles and fives. Half of it is already gone by Monday at the gas pump. October arrives. The leaves fall across every yard. Your customers ghost you on the final invoice. You sell the trimmer on Facebook Marketplace for $80 and tell yourself you'll pick up shifts at the warehouse until March. Then, most quit. The ones who don't are ready for Level 2. Level 2. The owner-operator. You're 24. You quit your warehouse job in March and went all in. You financed a 7x14 enclosed trailer for $9,500, bought a used 60-inch Exmark Laser Z for $11,000, and wrapped your truck in vinyl lettering that cost another $800. Your first invoice on new company letterhead makes your hands shake. You have 32 recurring residential customers at $40 a cut, which pencils out to about $5,100 a week in the season, if nobody cancels, if nothing breaks, if it doesn't rain. By May, you've hired a helper at $16 an hour. The first time you run payroll, you spend 4 hours getting the taxes right. You're still on the mower every single day, and you're estimating jobs at 7 p.m. in your driveway with a clipboard and a warm beer. Your gross margin is fine. Your net is 30 to 50% of revenue, which means in a good year you clear $60,000, less than your helper's cousin makes driving a forklift. Your first commercial liability insurance quote comes in at $4,200 a year. Your new insurance agent points to a clause about chemical application you don't understand. Then, one Tuesday in July, your mower deck spindle snaps. The repair takes 2 days. You miss 11 lawns. 2 customers fire you by Friday. You finance a used backup mower the next Monday to make sure this never happens again. You learn the single most important number in this business: route density. Stops per square mile. How much windshield time you eat between jobs. You start pricing by drive time, not just by lawn size. You're no longer a guy with a mower. You're a small business with a problem. Your first 5-star review online feels like winning the lottery. By August, you hire a second helper because the route demands it. You start making truck loan payments that cost more than your apartment rent. Level 3. The small crew owner. You're 31. You have 5 employees, 2 trucks, and 2 crews running 5 days a week. You gross $620,000 a year. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., you're in the yard with a clipboard. You're still mowing 1 day a week because Miguel's cousin didn't show up again, and you refuse to lose the Henderson account. This is the level that kills most owners. Your median customer is worth $14,682 a year, and you should be running 355 accounts to hit median revenue per employee of $123,000. You're at 280 accounts. You're short. Your target is 50 to 55% gross margin, and you hit 46. Every point you miss costs you $6,200 at your scale. You're rebuilding a carburetor in your driveway at dawn. You hire a cousin as a crew lead in April. By June, he's showing up at 8 a.m. instead of 6:30 a.m. smoking in the company truck. In July, you fire him. He doesn't speak to you at Thanksgiving. That's the test. Then comes the real test, the HOA bid. A property manager emails you about a $180,000 contract across 3 subdivisions. You've never bid commercial. You stay up 3 nights building the number. The coffee pot empties 3 times before dawn. You bid $172,000 because you're scared of losing it. You win it, and then you realize you bid $18,000 under cost because you forgot vehicle depreciation and workers' comp. You're locked into a 12-month contract that bleeds from week 1. You learn what cost per man-hour means at 2 a.m. staring at a spreadsheet. Your wife's asleep in the other room. You haven't talked all week. You renegotiate the contract in January by threatening to walk. They keep you at 188. You survive. Barely. You promise yourself, never again without real software. You sign up for Aspire that weekend. You stop doing payroll in a notebook. You're no longer a guy with crews. You're a real company. Ready for level 4? Level 4. The real business. You're 38. You run 22 employees across 6 trucks and 4 crews, a dedicated maintenance division, a mulch and install crew, and the division that actually pays your mortgage, chemical application. You hired a licensed applicator last year and added a Z-spray rig for $28,000, and that one truck bills $180 an hour at 52% gross margin. Meanwhile, your mowing crews bill $150 an hour at 30. The math is brutal and clarifying. You gross $2.4 million. 60% of it is commercial, on annual contracts. You are off the mower, you are on the phone all day. In February, the H-2B visa lottery runs. You applied for 14 workers. 149,000 requests came in for 33,000 slots. A 4.5 to 1 oversubscription. You lose the lottery. You have 14 empty crew seats in April and a route that requires 42 people to service. You spend the spring running crews with 9 guys instead of 14, paying overtime you didn't budget and watching your gross margin collapse from 52 to 41. Your service manager quits in June for a competitor offering him $85,000. You counter at 92 in health insurance. He stays. You learn that at this level, you are not in the mowing business. You are in the labor management business. And the business is getting harder every year. Level 5. The regional operator. You're 46, running $6 million in revenue. $6 million total on the books. 58 employees across 2 branches. You hired a controller last year at $110,000. And for the first time, you're reading a weekly P&L that actually ties out. Your commercial book is 74% of revenue, HOAs, retail plazas, 2 municipal contracts you won on sealed bid. You added snow-and-de-icing in year 2 because the Northeast mow season is 210 days and your fixed costs run 365. Snow brings in $780,000 between December and March. It saves you. Your business is now worth something on paper, 4 to 6 times EBITDA per the brokers who started calling last year. At roughly $720,000 in EBITDA, that's somewhere between $2.8 and $4.3 million of enterprise value. You tell your wife. She asks why you still work 70-hour weeks if the number is that big. You don't have an answer. Then in October, your biggest HOA, $412,000 a year, fires you because a crew skipped the fall pre-emergent application and the board president's lawn grew crabgrass. 1 missed visit. 1 crew lead who lied on the service ticket. $412,000 gone in a single email. You install GPS on every truck by Thanksgiving. You build a 3-person quality assurance team. You realize you need audited financials if you're ever going to sell. You hire a CPA firm at $40,000 a year to get UGAP compliant. You're no longer an operator. You're a CEO preparing an asset. Level 6, the LM150. You're 54 years old now. $24 million in revenue. 11% EBITDA, 340 employees, bilingual operations managers, and a CFO who came from a Fortune 500. You cracked the LM150 list at number 142. The cutoff that year was 20.5 million. Above you sits the industry giant at 2.77 billion, a private equity portfolio company built from the rolled-up group your dad used to compete against in the 1990s. You run on Aspire Enterprise. Your customer mix is 82% commercial, multi-year, with property management firms like JLL and Cushman. Your quarterly board meeting lasts 6 hours, with slides you stopped preparing yourself years ago. The letters arrive in March. 3 different private equity firms, all saying the same thing. Sub 3 million EBITDA, deals close at 4 to 6 times. You're at 2.6. They're offering 5.5. That's roughly $14 million for a company you started with a $900 mower in your parents' garage. Your investment banker meets you in a hotel lobby and hands you an NDA stack. You sign a letter of intent in May. Quality of earnings starts in June. You give up every weekend that summer to sit in a conference room. The diligence team finds $412,000 in owner comp add-backs they won't accept. Your number drops to 11.8 million. You fight for 8 weeks. Your deal lawyer's final bill comes in at $340,000. You settle at 12.4. You sign in October. You get 70% cash, 20% rollover equity into the platform, and a 10% earnout tied to hitting EBITDA targets over 3 years. The day the wire hits, your phone buzzes. You're at your daughter's soccer game. You don't tell anyone. You stay on as regional president for 24 months. That's the deal you signed. Your old logo comes off the trucks in month 7, replaced by the platforms. Your service manager, the one you countered at $92,000 a decade ago, reports to a district VP in Atlanta now, not to you anymore. Your crews still make $18 an hour. The price per cut went up 4%. The route density went up 11% because the new ops team ran the optimization software you never bought. 4 years after your close, the platform sells to a larger sponsor at roughly 11 times EBITDA-odd. Your 20% rollover turns into another 6.2 million. You're 60 years old now. You have more money than you ever imagined when you were 19, pushing a mower across a neighbor's yard for $40 cash. And the name on the trucks, the one you spent 35 long years building, belongs to a sovereign wealth fund in Singapore that has never, in any real sense, seen a single blade of American grass.